opponents. Both will be desperate for their first conference win in the Siegel Center, one of the best arenas in all of college basketball.
Certainly one of the toughest places to play in the Atlantic 10. George Washington, they have not won here in quite some time, so we'll see if that changes for head coach Chris Caputo now in his second season for GW.
Coach Caputo has him off to an 11-3 start ahead of his rebuilding schedule. Very talented starting five.
And Ryan Odom, previously the head coach at Utah State for a couple of years, UMBC, we all know that, the big win over Virginia. Now here back home, if you will, at VCU for the Rams.
Very proven coach. Led Lenore Ryan to the Division II tournament. Led UMBC to the historic upset of Virginia. Led Utah State to the NCAA tournament. Proven head coach.
So the Rams coming in at 8-6 on the season. GW at 11-3 right off the bat.
The second best shot blocker in America. Akingbola showing us what he does.
50 on the season now for him. This is Edwards for George Washington. In the interior for Darren Buchanan Jr. Misses on the jumper, a rebound for Zeb Jackson. Here's Max Shulga. On a double team, and we got a foul. Welcome everyone inside the Siegel Center here today for Game 3 of our triple header in the Atlantic 10 on USA. Got George Washington, VCU just underway with Mike Corey and Dr. John Giannini.
Yeah, excited to be here. Two good teams in an exciting environment. GW coming off a 3 overtime loss. They're coming out, watch, they will trap ball screens early. They're trying to get themselves going, you know, making sure that they emotionally get over that heartbreaking loss last time out.
Long 3 on the way. That's no good by Maximus Edwards, and VCU running the other way with Zeb Jackson. Hands it behind for Kwani, who drains a 3.
That's amazing to me. Kwani started the season 0 for 16 on threes. Since then, now he's 11 for 16, almost 70%. What a turnaround. He's on fire after being ice cold.
Yeah, he's really picked it up here for the Rams, that's for sure. Here's James Bishop now for George Washington. Guarded by Kwani. Darren Buchanan Jr. What a bump there. No call. It's a shot clock violation. And Buchanan's a guy that's coming off a 38-point effort in that triple overtime loss the other night, Coach, to Florida.
Spectacular performance. The most points by a freshman in all the country so far this year. But VCU's not doubling him. They feel they have the length to guard him one-on-one, and 2 early misses for Buchanan against the one-on-one defense of VCU.
Another quick 3, and that one's good. And it's knocked down by Max Shulga. 6-0 Rams early.
That play is a back screen and re-screen. You get through the first screen and you think you covered it, and they immediately set a second screen for Shulga. Get their best 3-point shooter a great look.
Bishop back up top. Garrett Johnson for 3. That's big. You know you got to get off to a good start in this building, Coach.
And Johnson, one of these redshirt freshmen, 6'8", shoots over 40 on threes, pick and pop. They switched it. That was contested. Really showed Johnson's ability to make tough shots.
Rookie of the week in the Atlantic 10. Floating runner is no good by Bairstow. The offensive rebound, and that time by Furman. He couldn't get it. And GW goes the other way with Bishop. Edwards. Nice take inside. Couldn't finish, though. And a fight for the rebound. It's ripped away by Furman.
Yeah, VCU's length has really been contesting GW shots.
Shulga again.
Shulga's interesting taking that 3 off the dribble. He actually shoots better off the dribble. That's unusual. Most players do not.
Bishop back out to Edwards. That's a 3 ball that's in and out. It's tapped back out, and Edwards has it. Bishop again with the left hand. It doesn't go. And a tie-up and a jump. The crowd wanted a foul as screaming in was Babatunde Akingbola that time for GW 23 to tie him up, get the jump ball, and get it back for the Revolutionaries.
Here's the length of VCU, and then the two big guys battling in there. Akingbola and Kawani.
GW has started 1 for 7 from the field here. And Bishop got it ripped away, and Bairstow the other way for 2.
Two things. First, VCU has great length. Everyone out there right now for them is 6'4" or bigger and athletic. But secondly, once again, 3 overtime loss just 3 nights ago for George Washington. And the starters played pretty much the whole game, over 50 minutes. How much do they have emotionally and physically after that epic, heartbreaking loss?
That's a really good point. On the other side, VCU's coming off a home loss, 89-78 to St. Bonaventure here in this building, in which the Bonnies put up the most points in a regulation game in this building ever at 89.
No question. Now, I would say regarding VCU, don't worry. I mean, the Bonnies shot the lights out. They're a veteran team. I really believe with the recent addition, VCU's talent is as good as any in this league.
Nice runner by Buchanan for GW, and it's an 8-5 game. What did you say to me earlier about the Aaron Rodgers play?
If you're a VCU fan, relax. Roger spelled it out, R-E-L-A-X.
Yep.
Don't overreact to that St. Bonaventure game. Your team is talented. They're working out some new additions and chemistry issues.
Jackson for 3. That's 3 different players already that have drained a 3 for the Rams.
Yeah, another well-designed play, a back screen into a down screen. Coach Odom has an outstanding playbook, and they're getting shots out of the offense. Really not creating on their own. Executing really well. That's the kind of chemistry Coach Odom's looking for with pretty much a new team at mid-year with the additions of Bairstow and Bamisile.
Bonnie, Shulga, and Jackson have all hit 3s, and an interception here by Bairstow. Quickly up to Jackson again. Crosses over, takes it in, no. Offensive rebound, Furman. It's out to Shulga, and he thought about the 3, and it takes it in for 2.
Love Furman's rebound. I love pure big guys. We got some really good big guys in this game with Furman, Lawal, we'll see soon, and Akingbola just kicking the ball out and letting Shulga make a good decision on the closeout. They ran at Shulga. When someone runs at you, you drive.
Bishop. And he is fouled on his way in. The foul's on the floor. GW will inbound when we come back, but they're down by 8.
Now, VCU getting off to a great start, knocking down 3s. The Rams up 8 early. Shulga to the bucket.
Welcome back. VCU 13-5 over GW here early, and a lot of changes this year here in Richmond, Virginia, that's for sure. Here's everybody that was lost from last year's team. You see the top 7 scorers on the team gone, so they refreshed the whole lineup pretty much under first-year head coach Ryan Odom. And when you look at this list, the highlighted players have just come back, 3 and 4 games respectively. Coach, how big is that for the Rams right now?
It is huge news for VCU. Bairstow is a preseason All-A-10 player. Bamisile was All-A-10 when he played at GW a couple of years ago. So these are 2 elite talents. I believe that this whole lineup has the talent to be a top 40 net NCAA level team. Unfortunately, they haven't been full strength. They've played a bigger lineup, a younger lineup, but now you got to adjust. Who's going to play less? What's our best lineup going to be? And VCU has to work through mid-year additions and having a very different team. Once they work through that, make no mistake, they have A-10 tournament championship potential.
We just saw a shot of Sean Bairstow there coming back onto the court. Broke the 5th metatarsal in his foot back on media day on October 17th. And then now this is just his 4th game back for the Rams. Has taken it in for the 2 is Maximus Edwards from GW. And then Joe Bamisile, who you mentioned, this is his 5th game as they were kind of waiting to see if he was going to be eligible. And that all kind of worked out. And they could really use those guys, and it's been huge to have them back.
And they're both in the game right now. And these aren't just players, they're high-level players. And there is the most athletic player, maybe, I'm not overhyping this, on the planet. 49.5-inch vertical jump, Toby Lawal. That's higher than anyone in recent NBA combines. A stunning athlete, a world-class athlete. You throw it up, Lawal's going to get it.
Yeah, it's what he does, dunk the ball, and he just did it right there in his first play as he came in off the bench. Whistle, foul, and almost a chance of the 3-point play, but Buchanan goes to the line for 2. Back to the dunk.
Now, GW is going to be frustrated. Watch Buchanan. Lawal gets behind him. And GW coaches emphasized on pick and rolls. You can help, but you can't let Lawal behind you, because as soon as Lawal's behind you, it's a dunk.
Lawal's the guy that comes in. He shoots every morning. He's really only been playing basketball for about 5 or 6 years. He was more of a soccer player back in England, where he's from. Went to Lee Academy, and they've been playing him at the 5 position here when he's come into the game for VCU, coach.
So the other thing no one talks about, everyone talks about the shocking vertical jump, the leaping ability. He is the second fastest player on this team. In their combine sprint test, only Jackson had a better sprint time than Lawal. So he's not just a jumper. This guy can fly, cover ground, a world-class athlete without exaggeration.
Jason Nelson gives it over to Bairstow as he tries to work it in on the spin. And Edwards blocks his shot. Nice play there. And coming down with it is Jacoy Hutchinson. 3-ball, Buchanan, short.
They guarded him properly, played Buchanan for the drive, which he's so good at, dared him to shoot, which he's less good at.
Here's Bamisile. A little too strong, good rebound there. The ball got knocked out of bounds off of VCU. You and I were talking before the game about what George Washington was going to try to do coming in here today, right? To kind of get past that triple overtime loss. What are some of the things that we're seeing and that you're going to see in this game today, Brendan?
They actually, before we were on with the first game running a little longer, they started trapping ball screens. They want to try to get themselves going, not only to try to surprise VCU with maybe some aggressive ball screen coverages, but to get themselves going. Because 55 minutes, heartbreaking loss with 18 lead changes, over 20 ties. That took a lot out of GW. And again, they had 3 starters for over 50 minutes. So, the energy is a real issue today for GW. Can they manufacture?
It's an illegal screen. And it's going to be on Akinbola. That's going to be his first. Game 3 of our triple header here today in the Atlantic 10 on USA. Good job by George Mason with a 79-67 win over St. Louis. And then how about LaSalle on the road at Fordham, 81-76, getting the win there. And now here we are today. So
I'm really high on GW. I think their starting 5 is as good as there is in the league. I'm concerned about their depth. But going back to that triple overtime game, Fordham won it. They were at home. Clearly didn't play great against LaSalle. And that, I don't know if that bodes well for GW.
Floating runner by Bamisile goes down. 17-9 VCU.
Yeah, we talk about Bamisile has been an all-conference player. Ironically, at GW, started at Virginia Tech, transferred to George Washington, then Oklahoma. Now he's on his 4th school at VCU. So he's familiar, but the only player on GW that he played with was Bishop.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy how he's able to do that. Here's a step back 3 by Autry. It's good. That's Trey Autry, true freshman out of Jamesville, New York, and he knocks it down.
Johnson and Buchanan are star quality freshmen, potential rookies of the year for GW, but Autry's in that freshman class, and that class accounts for over half of GW's points.
That's a wide open 3 for Alfonso Fats Billups III, and he hits it. That's now 4 made threes on the afternoon for VCU. They're 4 of 6.
Billups had a breakout game, 23 and 5 threes in a win against Penn State. Super talented and one of the 40-inch vertical leapers on this team. Athletic and skilled.
Hutchinson behind the back on the spin, and the fadeaway is no good. Billups has it. Coming up at 11 minutes to go in this fast-moving first half, and we've got a foul here. And it's going to be on Hutchinson. Oh, it's the other way. It's on Billups.
Yeah, VCU on fire early. Billups from the corner. And VCU up 8 on a roll.
Back in Richmond, Virginia with an 8-point lead for the Rams here, 20-12. You talked about George Washington coming off that triple overtime loss. Here's some of the notes on that one at Fordham a few days ago.
Yeah, the final 32 minutes, outside the last minute, it was a one-possession game. It was an incredible back-and-forth game. But that last line there, GW starters scored 111 of the 113 points. They played almost every minute. So it's not just the emotional drain of losing a contest like that. Those GW starters played nearly 55 minutes. And the question is, can you really sustain success with a bench that only gives you 2 points in a game with 113 points? So, love the GW starting 5. That 3 by Autry off the bench is a huge positive sign.
Good point. I mean, it was Edwards, Buchanan, Bishop, and also Johnson that played 51 of the 55 minutes, and then Akambula played 45 of the 55. Jackson. He's back out for Jason Nelson here. Back to Jackson, still 10 to shoot. Phillips, Nelson to Bamisile. For the wall, and he's fouled.
I am loving that possession for VCU. Because when you talk about chemistry in basketball, it really usually means passing. And the passing on that possession was exquisite. A lot of drives and kicks, getting the defense in rotation and moving the ball quickly to the open person faster than the defense can move their feet. That was excellent chemistry. And talent is not an issue for VCU. Terrific talent. Depth with the addition now of Bamisile and Bairstow is not an issue. It's just, can they get the right lineups? Can they function well together? And they functioned wonderfully on that last possession.
Akambula was the one that was called for the foul. That's his second, so he goes to the bench for GW. And there you see Edwards back in for the Revolutionaries. Yeah, that's the thing, Coach. How do you adjust when you bring back those 2 star players for VCU? You've been talking about it because then some other guys got to sit. They were used to playing those 10 games, and they were playing pretty well.
They had a former starter hardly play in the last game, and someone they're really high on. So that's an adjustment when you're starting and all of a sudden you're not playing that much. And then what's your best lineup? For example, we saw the stats. The offense has been much better with Bamisile and Bairstow, but the defense has not been. So what's our best offensive lineup? What's our best defensive lineup? You really got to kind of start like the season's almost starting all over again.
Block inside, but a foul as well. Let's see if they get it on Bamisile. Yep. It's going to be his first. Yeah, the player you're talking about, too, is Michael Bell, who's a true freshman who's averaging over 20 minutes a game. You know, starting for this VCU team. He only played 43 seconds last game, but you're right, his offense kind of, you know, with Bairstow, and then, you know, he had better defense, so that's the thing. If you get Bairstow in there, you're going to get some offense, but Coach has been talking about they got to get that defense shored up a little bit.
Yeah, and hopefully your best offensive players step it up on defense. But Bell is a true freshman, real physically gifted player. 6'8", can move his feet, really strong, and he's going to develop. But defensively, some of their wings, the young wings like Bell and Billups, you know, they're really good defensively. So they've added some offense, but their defense has taken a step back, and they have to figure that out individually and in terms of lineups.
Edwards able to knock down the free throws. It's a 7-point game here as we come up on the halfway point of this first half. Nelson hands off to Billups for VCU, and here's Bairstow. Trying to bounce it into the wall, and it's intercepted. Here comes James Bishop. Fouled on the play by Zeb Jackson.
So the foul trouble of Akingbola. If you're GW, you don't like that because Akingbola is one of the best rim protectors in America. Second best shot blocker in America. But now you have small ball. And I'm telling you, small ball works. You have more skill, you have more quickness, and since Akingbola's been out, some good things have happened for GW.
Buchanan for Bishop. Slashes through, and he got fouled again. This time it's Lawal, and he's going to pick up his second.
The difference is VCU has depth. Lawal and Furman are an amazingly effective combination at center. Together, they average 18 points and 11 rebounds, and they're really rarely in anymore at the same time. So they have a two-headed monster at the center, And, you know, you sub out Lawal, one of the best athletes in the country, and you bring in Furman, one of the best shot blockers in the A-10. So, again, it speaks to this depth of VCU. They can handle foul trouble. They could play a lot of people. This is a team with a super high ceiling. I'll say it again. If they had their full team all year, they would be in great position, in my opinion, with just a couple losses for an NCAA college game. Because they didn't have them, they're going to have to win the A-10 tournament to get in, but they're very capable of doing that.
Well, a lot of basketball still to be played, that's for sure, as Furman comes back in for Lawal with the 2 personal fouls. It's a 6-point game here, exactly halfway through the first half. That's the thing. You got to hang tight here at VCU. You got to stay in this ball game early, give yourself a chance to win. You start getting down double digits, that's a recipe for disaster.
I mentioned it. I really like GW's talent. I love their starting lineup. I love, you see another illegal screen. I love their small ball look, which they have right now with Buchanan at center.
That's really Furman's first personal foul.
Yeah, the question is, again, just, you know, how are they going to respond? The coaches were concerned emotionally, how are they going to be after the triple overtime loss? But they look good.
That's now 6 team fouls here for VCU, with still 9:45 to go in the first half.
Now, this is normally a point forward, but with this lineup, it's point center, and Buchanan can really get downhill. Most of his shots are at the rim.
Buchanan goes back up top and then inside. And that's on. Couldn't get the bucket. It's the other way for VCU, and here comes Sean Bairstow again. Johnson with the foul for GW, his first.
It's interesting, number 8, Waluche Ume is in.
Yep.
And that's critical because he's part of this bench, and they got to get some quality minutes off the bench. Waluche Ume has not been playing, didn't even get in that triple overtime game.
Wild save, and into the hands of Bishop, who takes it in. He's fouled. And Jackson, he's going to pick up his second personal foul. So all of a sudden, VCU getting called for some fouls here, and GW is going to shoot free throws for the rest of this first half. That's a 2-shot foul anyhow, but 17 fouls already with 9:11 to go.
Well, GW is the best team in the A-10 getting to the free throw line. They average, where is it? They average nearly 17 points a game on free throws, 17.1. That is by far the best in the A-10. And you know you're an elite free throw shooting team or foul drawing team when this happens. When you make more free throws than your opponents even attempted, and there we see the stats right there. That last line, making more free throws than your opponents even attempt, that means you are a serious downhill aggressive offensive team. And Bishop, we really need to talk about in this game because he's one of the top players in GW history and in the A-10.
He really is. He's 4th all time in scoring, and that's really, when this year's completed, about 3.5 years because of COVID and all the games lost there. This GW team staying right in this thing. 4-point game, and they've only shot 28% of the field as Furman misses for VCU. Tapped around, and again, right into the hands of Bishop on the run. And he lost that one there.
Yeah, simple mistake. He thought that Buchanan was going to go to his right, and he went to his left. Simple, honest mistake.
5 turnovers for George Washington in the first half. 3 so far for VCU, but the 3 have come in the last minute and a half here, Coach. What do they got to do better offensively?
Well, I do think it's the quicker GW lineup, but the truth be told, both these teams have struggled with turnovers this year. They're both very efficient with the exception of turnover rate.
Bamisile trying to loft it back up for Furman, who got it inside. Back up to the top now for Shulga. He gets bumped, takes a contact, lays it in anyhow.
Shulga, another preseason All-A-10 selection transfer with Coach Odom from Utah State, where he and Bairstow were 2 outstanding players on their NCAA tournament team last year.
Averaging 15 points a game here for VCU. We got a foul again as Bishop goes inside. And it'll take us to a timeout. We'll be right back. VCU 23, George Washington 17 from Richmond, Virginia. We're back in Richmond in the Siegel Center. This Atlantic 10 conference matchup today, 23-17, VCU leading George Washington. The star of the Revolutionaries over the years has been James Bishop, coach. He's been outstanding. He's really refined his game, though, here this season, and now has become that kind of complete player and getting his teammates involved, and doesn't feel like he has to do all the scoring and has to carry the load himself.
You nailed it, Mike. When Bishop got to GW, transfer from LSU, he scored a lot, but he also shot a lot. And opposing coaches said, yeah, he's really dangerous, but he's a volume guy. He's just going to shoot a lot. Right now, he is efficient. He shoots high percentages. He's scoring a little bit less, but he's very underrated as a passer, one of the top point guards and assist givers in the A-10, better defender, in the best shape of his life. Frankly, he came back to prove to do two things. First, to create a legacy at GW, turn the program around. We said they're 11-3 and he's leading a winning team. He wanted to prove he could do that, but he wanted to prove he's an NBA player. So he's distributing the ball, making great decisions, defending, as I said, in the best shape of his life. Bishop's a terrific player.
He's the only player on this GW team that's actually played here in the Siegel Center against the VCU Rams, and you know that's always a tough thing to do. And I asked him about that before the game. I didn't really say too much to the guys about it, and you know, so far they're holding their own right here now with a 4-point game.
Yeah, and Bishop's been getting to the line. He doesn't have a free field goal yet, but he's doing this. And there's the point guard type skills we talked about on cue. His first year, he might have shot that ball. Right now, he is an outstanding decision maker, an outstanding passer, one of the best players in the A-10 and one of the better point guards in the country.
Well, Oche Ome knocking that three down. It's just his 5th game of the season, the true freshman. You said he was going to get some time here today, and he's cut it to a 1-point game. And Shulga drives in. That's partially deflected. Let's go back to the 3.
So here's the playmaking of Bishop. They're forcing him right. He's left-handed. What's so impressive about that pass, he made it with his offhand. You would be surprised. A lot of players aren't strong with their non-dominant hand. Bishop is left-handed. It's one thing to shoot with your offhand. It's another thing to pass with your offhand. Very few players could do that. And VCU's game plan is to force Bishop right. He just showed, hey, I can be as good going right. You want to give me the right? I'll take it.
Probably could have laid it in, too, and, you know, if not, but he finds his open man for a 3-point.
But that's the decision-making. And the other important thing now, that's 2 threes from bench players, 6 points off the bench for GW. That's triple what they had in 55 minutes on Wednesday night.
Fouls on Edwards, and Shulga unable to convert. It stays a 1-point game here, 23-22 with 6:45 in ticking first half, and a chance for GW to take the lead. The ball is knocked out of bounds. Whose is it? Stays with the Revolutionaries.
Here comes
Jason Nelson coming back into the lineup for VCU. And Michael Bell for the first time today as well. True freshman from England, who's the former starter for this team until Bairstow and Bamisile were able to come back.
Bell has a great future, and he's an awfully good defender right now. Matched up, we have 2 of the best freshmen in the A-10 there, Bell versus Johnson.
Buchanan was short. Bell's got the rebound.
Look at that, 6'8", athletic, fluid,
right.
Can move his feet, strong, hard-nosed defender, working on his outside shot. I'm telling you, this VCU team is loaded at this point.
Bairstow kicks it for Bamisile. Working on Trey Autry, the fadeaway. No, almost tipped up and in. And GW fighting for it. Do we have a jump ball again? We do, and this is going to stay with VCU.
Terrific stop for Autry, the freshman, to get the one-on-one stop against the veteran Bamisile was a terrific defensive play. And they got the rebound. They were a little careless there with the ball. Let's see if Johnson can pressure, not much pressure on that bounce pass. Thought he might be able to.
Bairstow, back to Bamisile, got a good look for 3, yes.
Chemistry. That's the question. Chemistry is passing. Bairstow, driving kick to Bamisile. Now the question, the follow-up question, can they get the defensive chemistry to match this offense that you know VCU can score with Bairstow and Bamisile out there? Now, can they defend at a high level?
5 of 7 from three-point range, and floating the runner in is Edwards.
Edwards last year, A-10 Rookie of the Year, and there's 3 players out there right now that's an oxymoron. They're freshman transfers. Edwards,
right,
Buchanan, and Johnson. They're all transfers, but they had 4 years of eligibility. They were redshirted at their last school and came to VCU and GW and have had a huge impact.
In and out by Bairstow on the 3, and here comes Autry. Now Garrett Johnson. Back for Edwards for 3, it's good. And GW has the lead, 27-26.
Edwards, a very good three-point shooter, a really strong rebound from the guard position. And again, Bishop, one of the best players, as we said, in the league and established. But these 3 freshman transfers, that's a unique model. Coach Caputo has looked for those guys.
Bamisile responds with a 3, and VCU goes back in front.
Yeah, Coach Caputo said, should I get transfers or freshmen? He did both. He got transfers from high-level programs with college practice experience, but still having 4 years of experience. And those 3 are carrying this program along with Bishop right now.
Hutchinson takes some contact, it doesn't go. Bell's got it. VCU running, it's a 5-on-4. Bell couldn't finish, and Johnson clears away the rebound and quickly up to Hutchinson. On the bounce and a dunk for Edwards.
I'll tell you, GW, they're getting confident. You could see it. You could see they put last Wednesday to bed. You could see they feel comfortable. There's a saying that the most comfortable team wins. GW's getting very comfortable and confident right now. And Buchanan smelling the steal.
Buchanan takes it in, count the basket, and a 3-point play opportunity coming up for GW when we return. 3:41 to go in the first half. Revolutionaries up by 2.
GW momentum. Buchanan, the star freshman. Defense into offense. Big play for the Revolutionaries.
Back at the Siegel Center where GW has a 2-point lead here, 31-29, playing very well to start this first half. Mike Corey, Dr. John Giannini with you. And how about this? You just mentioned this about what Coach Caputo was doing with his players that he's brought in.
These players did not start at GW. Buchanan started at Virginia Tech. Garrett started at Princeton. Edwards started at Kansas State. But what they all have in common is they didn't play at their first schools. They sat out. And after not playing at all their freshman year and keeping their eligibility, they entered the transfer portal. And Coach Caputo got the best of both worlds. He got older transfers who have been in a Division I program, but they had 4 years of eligibility. And Edwards, Rookie of the Year last year. And Buchanan and Johnson, they are the top 2 freshman scorers in the A-10 right now and probably battling to be Rookie of the Year again. So this unique niche that Coach Caputo has found, transfers who are a little older, a little more experienced, but that he could build around for 4 years, it's been a gold mine for the Revolutionaries.
Couldn't cap off the 3-point play, but it's still a 2-point lead as we come up on 3.5 to go in this first half. The Rams led this game 21-12 with 10:41 to go, and GW's been on a 19-8 run and making a 21-8 run as Edwards throws it down.
Another one of those 3, I'll call them freshman transfers. It sounds like an oxymoron, but this is a strong, older GW team that is not intimidated by the Siegel Center at all, and they really have momentum right now.
Yeah, they are not. Edwards leads all scorers with 13 points. GW's hit 5 of the last 6 from the field. Here's Autry.
And they're doing it without Akimbola. The terrific shot blocker. Small balls working.
Inside Buchanan. Bishop, good extra pass. Johnson. Too strong, but the offensive rebound for the moment was held up by Buchanan, and now it's taken away, and Furman's got it for VCU. Bairstow. Couldn't do it. short, and that's going to be off the hands of Autry for GW.
You want playmakers on offense, play breakers on defense. Breaking up the handoff. They call that blowing up the handoff, and then rewarded with a dunk on the end.
You said they're not intimidating, GW, and I'm not going to say that this isn't an awesome crowd and an unbelievable place to play, because it always has been over the years for decades. Okay? But today, to be honest with you, doesn't seem to have that kind of juice, if you will, Coach, right?
Well, it goes together with the performance. I've seen this year when VCU gets it going, the crowd gets growing. VCU right now is on a little bit of a bad stretch.
What it's allowed GW to come back here, and missing on a three. That's Autry. But as we know, it can turn in a hurry here in this building.
I said it in the opening. This is one of my favorite arenas in all of college basketball. The fans, the band, they've had over 100 consistent sellouts recently here, a great fan base. But right now, the Rams are a little bit flat.
Shulga feeds it out to Bairstow, misses on the three, and rebound by Edwards, quickly up to Bishop. And that's what GW's been able to do, is get in transition, and Bishop misses, and rebound by Bairstow. Shulga with a lane, and he's fouled.
So good job pushing the ball by VCU. Both these teams like to run, but transition defense is about two things. A, getting back, and then B, communicating and knowing who you have. And where GW failed was in B. They were back, but no one identified Shulga and communicated, and he was wide open to catch the pass and drive hard.
This is the 8th and final game of this homestand here for VCU. If you go back, they have not been on the road since November 26th. They've been home for 8 straight. They're going to go to George Mason in their next game on the road, but trying to close it out here and go to 1-1 in conference play after both teams coming off an opening conference loss to start the season.
Well, listen, VCU's played a killer schedule. We got Iowa State, Boise State, Penn State, Memphis. This is a battle-tested team. They will have no problems going on the road. Right now, you got to credit GW more than fault VCU.
Bishop. Pass deflected. Edwards has it. Still 10 to shoot. Edwards almost got it stripped away, and through a double team, puts it up. No good. Furman the rebound.
Now I'm curious. I believe. Oh, quick shot. Wow.
Furman off the Bamisile miss, and he's got it.
Furman, an old school big man, is more than happy to rebound block shots. I thought VCU might hold the ball for a 2-for-1. And right now, that might be. It's a use it or lose it timeout.
We are tied at 33 now here from Richmond. Back in a moment. GW possession here with a tie game and 42.3 seconds to go before halftime. Edwards has 13 points for the Revolutionaries to lead all scorers. Only player in double figures in scoring so far here in the first half. Furman has got 8 rebounds for VCU. Season and career high is 10.
Curious to see. I think GW will execute, be patient for a good shot, but an option is they could go with a quick hitter and still try to get a 2-for-1 offense. It's the quick hitter.
And they do. Buchanan, but he's blocked by Furman inside.
But that's fine, because they're going to get an extra possession now, too. And it's your best driver in open space, and just good defense by Furman. Good coaching and execution on both ends.
Yeah, you had said it. That's what Caputo wanted to do coming out of that timeout. 7.5-second differential shot clock and game clock. So here is Bairstow controlling. 10 now to shoot. Bairstow and Bamisile lost it for the moment. Takes it in, gets the 2. How about that? 8 seconds to go. GW working it up quickly. Buchanan. Extra pass, 3-ball, Edwards, no. And that's how the half will end up. VCU 35, GW 33 at the break here in Richmond. Time now for the halftime report. Let's go back to the studio and Ahmed Fareed. Back in Richmond, the Rams closed the half on a 6-0 run in the final 1 minute and 27 seconds. They've got a 2-point lead here as we get set for the start of the second half. Welcome back inside the Siegel Center, everyone. Mike Corey, Dr. John Giannini. Pretty darn good game going on here, right? Both teams coming off losses. You know, you don't want to start 0-2 in conference play. Where are you at right now here in this game?
Very evenly played. Right now, GW's had some more success at the free throw line. VCU a few more threes. But a lot of GW success is from Maximus Edwards. He's an outstanding shooter, physical player, athletic, getting it done on the defensive end. Terrific half for Edwards.
He's got 13 points and it leads all scorers in this game. But Bamisile, on the other side, he's got 10 for VCU.
Well, he was a third-team all-conference guy when he was at GW, has since transferred to Oklahoma and now VCU. He's a shooter, he's a scorer, his veteran confidence is very evident here. And again, he's a recent addition, a mid-year addition to VCU, a real shot in the arm. And this VCU roster has a high ceiling, but they got to fight off GW in this game first.
GW went 0 for 6 from the field in the final 3:23 after having a 4-point lead. We'll see what happens here to start this second half. Bamisile's going to start off the bench, or coming off the bench here to start the second half, like he's done since he's been back.
And once again, that speaks to VCU's depth. I mean, they're bringing a past A10 all-conference player and one of their top talents off the bench. That's a luxury.
Right.
It's something that high-level teams are able to do.
Buchanan on the tank, and he's fouled hard by Furman.
No one in the A10, as a team, gets to the free throw line more than GW. They're downhill. Buchanan's the ultimate downhill player, and Coach Caputo puts him in situations as a power forward, getting handoffs, getting ball screens. I can't think of many power forwards. They're usually the ones setting the screen, not the one using it.
Well, and to your point, though, about getting to the rim, you look at who's out on the floor, and really, I mean, maybe 4 of the 5 guys have the opportunity to kind of get there and create and draw contact, which has been happening all season.
Buchanan, again, 38 points against Fordham. And that game was fascinating because the way Fordham was playing defense, they were actually daring Buchanan to beat them a little bit. But he's a relentless driver. I love the word one coach uses. He's a forceful driver. He gets where he wants, and he gets through contact, and he can finish, as he showed there.
Fordham lost earlier today at home, 81-76 in Game 2 of our triple-header to LaSalle. George Mason beat St. Louis 79-67. Here we've got a 1-point game with VCU leading GW. Just underway in the second half. Here's Kwani, who had the 2 early fouls, gets it to Furman, who misses, and Edwards has it for GW, and they can take the lead again. Over across town, you've got Richmond hosting St. Bonaventure, who just stayed in town after beating VCU the other night. They're down by 4. Richmond's up 35-31, and Duquesne leads Loyola Chicago on the road 40-36 at the half as Edwards adds to his total. He's got 15, and the Revolutionaries are back in front.
It's all about reading closeouts, and Edwards in his sophomore year knows when to drive, knows when to shoot, and that's decision-making. It's not just passing, it's knowing, again, when to drive, when to shoot. Drove the hard closeout.
Jackson couldn't convert, but it got knocked out of bounds by Buchanan. Coach Odeman talked about this being kind of the 3 different teams this season. They had the summer and the preseason where had everyone available. Then they lost Bairstow and then realized Bamisile was ineligible for the time, so they played 10 games in a lineup that they had pretty consistent there, but they got comfortable, and then all of a sudden they get those 2 guys back, so you got to enter them in the lineup, and things change again. And it's a lot to deal with, actually, Coach.
You know, you have 2 guys that are going to play over 70 minutes, so who's going to get cut those 70 minutes and what lineups are going to be best and what's your best defensive lineup, what's your best offensive lineup. It's like starting the season all over again, but the talent and depth is at a very high level. It's a wonderful problem to have. VCU just has to work through it.
Barstow just put VCU up, and then a block inside. They get it back though with Furman, who gets it back out to Zeb Jackson. Misses on the three, and another offensive rebound, this time from Kwani. Shulga. Done a good job by George Washington to kind of help and recover there. Get back out on shooters. Oh! From way outside, Shulga.
The great majority of players in the country do better with catch and shoot. If you make them dribble, they don't shoot as well. There's two exceptions in this game, Shulga and Bishop. They're outstanding off the dribble.
What a feed inside. Easy bucket that time. It was Bishop finding Akambula.
Man, Bishop doesn't have a field goal, but he has some real important assists. And again, he came back. He's a proven scorer. He came back to prove he could be a leader, a creator, and someone who can run a team, and he's doing it.
Furman wasn't ready for it. It's going to be a backcourt violation, so GW has it with 17:05 to go second half and down by just 2. I asked you at halftime what you thought. You said, hey, I don't know. Anything can happen here, right? I mean,
anything can happen. Absolutely. This could be a close game down to the end. VCU could go on a run and get the crowd behind them and put it away. Either team could win in a close one. Can't wait to see.
Bishop.
So I love Bishop is not forcing shots. That's a shot he can make. I just love Bishop's decision-making. He drove, he wasn't comfortable, kicked it out, and then when he was comfortable on the handoff, he knocks it down. Love the decision-making.
First up, Bishop got him. And he'll head to the line for 2.
So here's the drive. He's not comfortable. He gives it up and then gets it back off the handoff. And the mistake by Barstow, he relaxed. He's like, I stopped this guy who is hard to stop. Thank goodness he kicked it out. And as soon as he kicks it out, Bishop does something Steph Curry does. As soon as he passes it, he runs into a handoff. And if you relax because you think you did your job, you're in trouble. Bishop made Barstow pay for that little siesta he took over there after the one-on-one drive.
And he takes a rare rest on the sideline. And the evolution of his game to be unselfish and to find his teammates, I think that obviously comes with having the capable players around you, of course, with what Caputo has done to bring this team together. But, you know, when you're a scorer, right, Coach? I mean, to kind of step back like that and say, no, I don't have to put up every shot.
Bishop wants to be a great player, and he realized, you know, it's about winning, it's about being complete, it's about leading, it's about decision-making, it's about being in great shape, it's about improving my skills, and he's done all of the above.
Buchanan. Knocked out.
But it's interesting, Hutchinson giving Bishop a little bit of a break here pretty early in the second half. I bet Bishop doesn't come back out when he returns to the game.
Edwards, 3 to shoot, slashes through and gets by Shulga for the bucket.
Guards who can post are a huge deal. Villanova in their title runs popularized it. Now, it used to be even big guys didn't want to post. Now the guards want to post too, and it's effective, especially when you're strong and you got the footwork like Edwards. Both teams trying to guard one-on-one in the post, not doubling.
GW back up by 2. Here's Zeb Jackson. Guarded by Hutchinson. Lawal. Jackson for 3 and the lead back. Count it.
Tough shot. Well defended.
4.5 gone by in the second half. Timeout coming at the next whistle. Here's Buchanan who takes it in, kicks it to Edwards. He got a good look for 3, and he responds.
How about Edwards? We've seen him drive. We've seen him post. We've seen him dunk. We've seen him make threes.
And Jackson right back the other way. And now this is the kind of tempo I thought we were going to see right from the beginning of this game here today.
Both these teams want to run, but they also want to stop the fast break too.
Nice behind the back by Johnson. And a foul is called. And we've got our first timeout of the second half. Almost 5 minutes gone by. Great game here today, tied at 46. 46 all today from the Siegel Center in Richmond, Virginia, and the Atlantic 10 off to a great start this season, Coach. 67% win percentage by all the teams against D1 opponents. And look at almost over half the league in the top 100 in the net so far. 5 quad 1 wins. Last year this time they didn't have any, so obviously much improved here in 23-24.
Well, traditionally it's a multi-bid league, and this is a very deep Atlantic 10 this year. When I'm looking at that, I see a lot of good teams. Dayton right now is firmly in the NCAA, not only discussion, but penciled in. Now, what 2 or 3 other teams can get on a run here to put themselves in the mix, or do people beat each other up? You know, the best thing for the league is to see, in addition to Dayton, 2 or 3 other teams to emerge and get on a roll. And I'm telling you, I know VCU lost that opening 8-10 game against St. Bonaventure, but they are high-level talent and depth. They look like an NCAA tournament team.
Bishop strong to the hole to get the bucket. It's 48-46.
So that was a Steve Nash. Steve Nash, the NBA great, would drive underneath the backboard, and at that point you have vision for assist, or you have the reverse layup. That's an advanced point guard play by Bishop, keeping his dribble alive.
Working inside for Bairstow. Lost the handle. Bamisile's got it back to Bairstow. 7 to shoot. Got the up fake, and it's blocked inside. But right back to the Rams and Billups. 1 to shoot. Bamisile misses on the 3. And they try to track it down, and it's knocked out of bounds off of GW. And Bishop went after it.
So high IQ play by Bamisile. Being shot clock aware and getting the shot up, knowing even if he doesn't make it, he's just got to hit the rim. And by doing so, gets his team another possession.
It was Akimbola that had the block inside for GW. He's second in the NCAA, by the way, with 3.5 blocks a game. He's already got 4 so far here today, and 53 for the season, and they get a steal. Buchanan for Bishop. Back to Buchanan. Had the right idea, but he throws it away now. Led him a little bit too much. Bamisile. Billups for 3 in the lead. Count it!
Transition is all about either getting numbers, it could be about getting mismatches, or it could be about the defense not being set and matched up, and you get an open 3 while they're retreating to the rim. That's what happened there. That's why you run. Get easier shots than you can in the half-court 5-on-5.
Let's see if that sparks this crowd a little bit here inside the Siegel Center. And a jolt of energy for this VCU team right now as Bishop fires up a 3 himself. It's no good. And Lawal's got the rebound.
That was really the first tough shot I've seen Bishop take.
Billups for 3 again. And rebound by Hutchinson. Bishop wants it. Strong drive again. How about that? 2 to the hole here.
Bairstow's a good defender, but at 6'7", he can't stick Bishop, and Bishop knew it.
11 lead changes and 4 ties since 5 minutes remaining in the first half here. 12.5 to go. Bamisile, he is fouled by Hutchinson.
This is identifying the mismatch. Right there, Bishop's eyes get big, and once again, they are forcing Bishop right to his weaker hand. And it's interesting, the coach has said, listen, he may drive right, but he's still going to shoot with his left hand. I think we could block that. Yeah. It's exactly as the coaches predicted, but the block didn't happen, and the drive did. It's called weaking. That's most teams when they say, hey, we're going to weak this player, weak that player. They're making him go off to the offhand. But Bishop has exploited that in this game.
Substitutions for both teams here as Bamisile tries to tie the game up. 5th game of the year for him today. You said it earlier. Started his career at Virginia Tech. Then went to George Washington. Played with Bishop for a season on the other side there. Went to Oklahoma. His dad, who was not doing well, had open heart surgery and wanted to get back here closer to home, and he has. He's from Chesterfield, Virginia, not far away, now here at VCU. So it's his 4th school, and he still has another year of eligibility remaining, Coach.
Yeah, one more year of COVID eligibility for people. And here is VCU's press. We haven't seen it yet.
Hutchinson to a wide open Autry for the 3-ball for GW.
Freshman to freshman, half the scoring from GW comes from freshmen. You talk about Coach Caputo reconstructing this roster, building something for the future. Terrific young talent at GW.
Autry's got 6 points on 2 3-pointers, and the team is 7 of 13 from the field at 54%.
And we're up to 9 bench points. We talked about it. That starting 5 unquestioned for GW. The chemistry unquestioned. Can they get more depth? And now Autry off the bench, really giving them a spark. And Hutchinson's given them quality minutes off the bench as well.
Yeah, Hutchinson picked up his 3rd personal foul. And Nelson with a step-back jumper. That's going to roll off. Good rebound inside Furman, and there's going to be a foul called again. And we'll be right back. GW's on top by 3.
VCU pressing, but GW goes north-south, gets the open man, punishes the press to stay within striking distance.
Zach Edey.
I mean, Yao Ming of college basketball, you just don't see someone 7'4" like that.
Talked about that 3 overtime game and the loss for GW at Fordham a few nights ago, and here's the players that logged a ton of those minutes. 4 of them with 51 of the 55 minutes played. But the other thing we all forget about too, right, Coach, is that they're young guys, right? I mean, 18 to 21, 22-year-olds, right?
So there's the physical part, and it's pretty demanding. But then there's also the emotional part. There were dozens of times in that game where GW thought they had the game won, and dozens of times they thought they had it lost, but they rallied back. I'm impressed with GW, have been all year, but here today against an outstanding opponent, and coming off, like I said, not only a physically depleting game Wednesday, but an emotionally depleting one. What this tells me, GW's for real. They didn't have the toughest non-conference schedule because they had so much inexperience. They have only 2 players on this team have ever really played college basketball. Akingbola at Auburn literally didn't get in games. Johnson, Buchanan, never played a college game. So they scheduled a little bit softer, but what this tells me now, seeing them against one of the best teams in the A-10, they're legit. They've built confidence and chemistry in the non-conference, and it's paid off.
I agree with you. As Bishop gets hit and is fouled, he'll go to the free throw line. Yeah, there's something to be said, obviously, about winning games, playing together, and getting your confidence level up, like you said. And I understand the level of competition, but much better going into your conference play at 11-3, feeling good about the guys you have out there, camaraderie, chemistry, than going in at 3-11.
Scheduling is hugely important, and there's only 2 kinds of schedules. VCU is a potential NCAA tournament team. So you got to play some of the best teams in the country. You got to schedule Memphis and Iowa State and those people. GW, if you only have 2 players on your roster that have ever played, you don't know what anyone else can do. Get wins, build confidence, build chemistry, and that gets you more ready for a 10-play game.
Well, that's what they've done as Bamisile misses, and the rebound comes down to Trey Autry, and they are in really good position here today, sticking right in this game for a chance to pull off a big upset and get their 12th win of the season and try to go to 1-1 in conference play. A lot of time left here, though. Ball is taken away. Bamisile.
Akingbola has to have his hands ready on that. That was a good pass.
He has tied the game at 54.
It's amazing how turnovers in football or basketball usually lead to points on the other end. It's the double whammy. Not only do you forfeit a chance to score, you give the other team an excellent opportunity against a non-set defense.
That's a great point. Could be potential 4 or 5 or even a 6-point swing. You know, if you miss a 3, get one on the other end, stuff like that. But that was a turnover turned into points as Bamisile's got 13. And Jason Nelson called for the foul for VCU. 4th foul on VCU, 4 on GW. Second half with 10:46 to go. And back to the free throw line is Bishop.
Remember, at halftime, and now GW at the free throw line again, GW gets fouled. Makes more free throws than anyone in the A10, and that theme is holding consistent.
Well, look at Bishop, 14 points, and he's 7 of 9 at the free throw line in this game.
Quick players who are aggressive and know themselves. They know what they're good at, and they keep going to the line.
He's 8 of 10.
Don't change what's working.
Yeah, the team is 13 of 17 so far in this contest. 10:40 to play. Back to a 2-point Revolutionaries lead. Shulga. For Billups for 3, and the lead, it's an air ball.
Really well defended, not just because of the air ball, but GW defended stagger screens, back screens, was in a stance. You know, I like GW. And by the way, their defense this year, again, we talked the strength of schedule, not great, but at holding people to 39% from the field, if you look at a defensive field goal percentage and it's in the 30s, that's very high level.
Yeah, holding VCU to 37% in the second half.
And 39% for the year. This is a well-coached team on both ends.
Bishop again, and redirected his thoughts at midair. You don't want to do that. Billups with a dunk.
Turnovers again. It's plagued both teams throughout this year.
Oh, we got a technical foul called here, and it's on Billups. My bad. Yep.
And I love the way he's responding. He knows he made a mistake. He let his emotions get the best of him. Look, what a terrific play. And right there he turns around and points and taunts Edwards.
It's a great call by the officials.
It nips it in the bud. And I guarantee you, Billups, a redshirt freshman, he won't do that the next 4 years. And that was just, he was just emotional. I don't think it was disrespectful. I just think he was overly excited.
Sure.
And, but he won't do it again. I think it's good officiating, and I love the way Billups responded.
Yeah, one of our officials, Chase Shaw, just looked right over at us with the little chirping sign. Adam Flore and Tony Crisp, our referees here today, doing a really nice job in the Siegel Center at VCU.
And here's the thing, if you don't make that call, then Edwards is going to say something to Billups next time he scores, and then it just escalates, and you're out of control of the game. And these officials are controlling the game in a good way.
They are. Edwards has it. After the free throws, Revolutionaries up by 2, 58-56. A long step back 3 from Bishop is no good, and Bairstow the rebound. Billups dumps it in inside to Furman. Cross court back to Shulga. Jackson. Back to Shulga. That's a 3. It's good.
Really good defense. At the end of the day, Shulga's just a little bigger than Autry and felt comfortable getting that shot off over him.
And how fast was that release? Here comes the crowd, finally rising to their feet for the first time here today. And staying on their feet.
GW stops the drive. They're there on the catch, but then Shulga, with his length at 6'5", can just shoot over Autry. And there's the good drive. Buchanan thinks Autry's going to be in the corner, but he's spaced up.
Good timeout by GW. It's just a 1-point game here with under 9 to go. It's high school band day here today at VCU. Over 70 high school students to join the VCU band. Over 120 overall. For the director of athletic bands in over 22 years now at the helm, Ryan Capacci. You love this guy, don't you, Coach? How awesome is he?
I do love him. I coached in this building, and I usually don't notice the band. How do you not notice the Peppers? I mean, they are amazing. They get the crowd going. They play some funky stuff, some great stuff. They're as good a college basketball band as there is. And what he told me is, listen, we're not trying to put on a concert here. We're trying to win the game. We're trying to fire up the crowd. I love what the Peppers bring.
They do a phenomenal job here at VCU. Credit Ryan and company, night in and night out, game in and game out here, which helps to create one of the most outstanding atmospheres here in Richmond at the Siegel Center.
Yeah, it's really special. And they've been good for over 20 years in different conferences. And they've been, since they joined the A-10, they got the most wins among all A-10 schools. This is a heck of a program. And they have another great new coach in Ryan Odom and more good things ahead.
We'll see if VCU can pull off the win here today. They're in a battle right now for GW with a 1-point game and 8:44 to go. Jackson, as Bishop converges quickly, and now a wide open Bairstow for three. Tapped into the hands of Buchanan.
Such a smart play by Johnson. He knew he couldn't grab it. He saw Buchanan. It was basically a tap, rebound pass. I agree.
Bishop on the spin. Not there. And the outlet from Shulga to Billups. Johnson fouled, and he almost got the bucket. Timeout of Richmond.
Shulga is guarding Bishop. He gets the stop. There's Shulga's defense, and then the Rams are running. And Billups emphatic to put the Rams ahead by 3.
One of the most consistent teams over the last decade for sure, Coach, the VCU Rams.
Well, best record in the A-10 since they joined the league. That's consistent excellence, not just consistency.
And what about this? One of 6 Division I programs with at least 20 consecutive winning seasons. Do you see the other names on that list?
Yeah.
Duke, Gonzaga, Kansas, Michigan State, and Xavier.
And Kentucky's not there. North Carolina's not there. UCLA's not there. This is astounding, and I want to give a shout out. One of the biggest constants is athletic director Ed McLaughlin. He has consistently hired amazing coaches. He's replaced amazing coaches. He's created this great game day experience. They have built one of the best practice facilities in all of college basketball. When you have the fan base, the practice facility, the right coaches, you build a great program like this, and that's what they have at VCU. They don't have a good team. They have a great program. They're going to be in the NCAA hunt every year.
It is pretty amazing what he's done. You're absolutely right. Bringing guys back, too, that understand, this team, this area, the recruiting, the style, the identity. They've built an identity, really, for a couple of decades.
No question. Now, GW with a real change up here. This is a 1-1-3 zone, a very unusual look.
Inside Furman, and they score it.
And VCU's not deterred or surprised. Interestingly, St. Bonaventure surprised them with this zone. Not many teams play this zone. But on the staff at GW is Dwayne Lee, a former St. Bonaventure assistant, and they put that defense in. It's funky, but VCU heard it.
Johnson relocates for 3. He got it. Oh, what a shot for GW. We're tied at 63.
That's a really hard shot. Hand in the face, off the dribble. The redshirt freshman transfer from Princeton, really talented with size.
Rookie of the week in the Atlantic 10. He's had 3 double-doubles this season as well. 3 times Rookie of the Week honors as well.
He and Buchanan are dominating professional of the year race. Jackson. This is a heck of a game, Mike.
Back and forth. Yes, he's got 11. 3-4 players in double figures in scoring now for VCU. Edwards is open, but he gets it inside for the dunk to Akambula.
Love big guys who want to be big guys, and that was amazing execution off a double ball screen. All kinds of switching and helping, and they left Akambula open.
Offensive foul on Shulga on the push-off for VCU.
So it's very simple. Straight line drive. If you try to drive to the rim, but your defender is firmly between you and the rim, and the defender takes the contact in the middle of the chest, it's a charge. And you don't have to be stationary. You can move and play good defense. And that time, Edwards just in perfect position to defend the straight line drive, getting the call.
Yeah, you called it, John. Good point. 6:10 to go here in this game. 66-65. VCU by a point. Bishop gets by the first defender. Behind that back, scooping runner.
Bishop's so good, but it's amazing how he can drive right and shoot left and get away with it so consistently. VCU thought they'd be able to block those shots because he's shooting with the inside hand, but he has scored on that a couple times now.
George Washington back in front by a point. Bishop's got 19. Here's Bairstow. Too strong. Offensive rebound, and that was Furman, and he got fouled. That is now 12 offensive rebounds for this VCU team, and they've gotten 14 second chance points as well.
There's the snake dribble, going from left to right, and then while driving right, scoop it in with the left. The change of pace, the court awareness, keeping your dribble alive, patience, touch. You put those together, that's a combination of elite skills that Bishop has.
On the other side, GW doesn't have any second chance points, but if you look at their second half shooting coach, they don't need second chances because they're 11 of 15 from the field at 73%.
They only missed 4 shots, so don't be too tough on them, wondering why they didn't get those 4 rebounds.
Exactly.
Boy, this is a good game.
This is awesome. 14th lead change here today. 68-67, VCU back in front.
VCU's changing their approach to Bishop. Jackson's starting to face guard him. They're not going to try to let Bishop catch the ball.
Johnson, floated runner, yes, and GW's back in front.
Both teams are good at that. That's called, and it's really hard to do, not catch and go, go and catch. It's starting to run into your catch and going downhill as you're receiving the ball. You know, they always tell you, don't go until you catch it. That's the opposite, go and catch.
Furman, back over to Bairstow, on the drive, no good. Tapped around, Shulga's got it. 20 on the shot clock, and he pulls up and hits to the baseline. A little reminiscent of what GW was dealing with at Fordham a couple of nights ago. For the final 32 minutes of that game, 18 minutes remaining in the second half through 3 overtimes, it was a 1-score game. Kind of having that situation here as we go back and forth with a 1-point game now. And Bishop, nowhere to go, does get rid of it, got it back. There's 5 to shoot, and a foul is called. It's on Jackson, it's his 3rd. And there are free throws coming for Bishop yet again, and they can go back in front. But they are in front, excuse me. So back in front at 70-69.
So we talk about Bishop's decision making. And sometimes it's, when do I shoot? When do I pass? Who do I pass to? But that time, he decided to hold on to the ball, to not panic. He took that 5-second count down to the last millisecond and ended up in a good situation.
Tied 70 all. Bishop's career 47th 20-point game. 21.
You know, he could have, like all these transfers, gone anywhere, but he made the decision. I'd rather go down as an all-time GW great than start all over somewhere else. And what a great decision he made for this program and himself.
No doubt. Phillips with Shulga for 3, and he got hit. Yes, he's calling for it, and then they got it, as it was Edwards that hit him on the arm. So 3 free throws coming here for VCU and Shulga, and a chance for them to regain the lead.
Some people may be critical of Edwards' defense. I am not at all. Shulga's a big-time shooter. A hand in the face means nothing, so he tries to get his hand up on the ball and just gets some fingertips. You say it's a game of inches, he literally touched his fingertips. And if you say, well, you can't foul him. Well, if he just has his hand in his face, Shulga's probably making that shot.
That's a good point. Yep, not much can do there. He did alter the shot as he got him on the hand there. So
the great shooters, a hand in the face means nothing. They actually practice with that. The average shooters, a hand in the face matters, but not against Shulga. You got to get up and contest the ball. And Edwards just got a few fingertips, that's all. I like this defense.
Shulga today, if he hits this free throw, he's got 20 points on the afternoon and would put VCU up by 2 with 4:05 to go. He does. Second Atlantic 10 conference game for both teams here today. Both have started 0-1. Big one here in Richmond. Coming down to 4 minutes remaining.
As you said, still a one-possession game, and this is regular territory for GW in their first 2 A-10 games.
Back to Bishop. He's had the hot hand with the 21 points, and now for 3. Oh, he trades it.
Talk about a silencer. 7,000 people just got real quiet.
Can VCU respond here now once again? Kwani gets it back to Shulga. 3.5 to go. 1 point GW lead. Shulga the up fakes. Too strong, and it's into the hands of Akimbola that time for GW.
Big playbook, but at the end of the game, keep it simple. You can ride with Bishop, trust his talent and his decision making.
Bishop taking some contact, kicks it to the corner. Buchanan passes up the 3, takes it in for the 2, and he got it, he got fouled.
Not a bad idea putting the ball in Bishop's hand late. The all-conference GW great with the step back, get the defense moving back, then get the space to shoot, then set up Buchanan. Buchanan bowls his way to the basket. Terrific freshman. It's not about the plays you run, it's about players late, and no better than Bishop. Driving right, finishing left, patience, craftiness, skill, and then step back 3, a dagger for the Revolutionaries. On the other end, Shulga doing his part, the leading scorer for the Rams. He is a sweet shooter. All he needs is a little space, shoots his bell off the dribble as he does off the catch. Back and forth, terrific game, little mid-range by Shulga, and this one's going to go down to the wire. Not surprising in A-10 play.
Look at this, 11 ties, 18 lead changes, and just like in their previous game for George Washington, one possession game since 17:42 left in the second half. It was one possession game since 18 minutes left in the second half of their last game versus Fordham.
Competition, good teams, not relenting, going after each other. A-10 basketball, it's a real treat.
And how about this stat? GW's had 42 lead changes in 13 games of non-conference play this year. They've already had 43 so far. Their 2 Atlantic 10 conference
It's
games.
astounding. It shows how GW was ahead in most of their non-conference games, but how that also prepared them for the A-10 and these epic first 2 games they've been involved with.
Shulga up top, Bairstow takes it in. Didn't put it up, gets it back out to the top, and driving in a rejection inside Akimbola as Bamisile went in. What a play!
Yeah, and the crowd's going to want a taunting technical on Akimbola. The difference between him and Billups is it wasn't directed towards an opponent. It was towards the crowd, so they really don't like that.
That's his 5th block of the afternoon. Bishop almost got it stolen from behind by Shulga, and now they're going to call a traveling violation.
Rim protection. Put that picture in the dictionary next to the term rim protection. That's how you do it. One of the best shot blockers in America, Akimbola.
54 blocks on the season, 2nd in the nation. Jackson, up top, Bairstow. Kicks it. Bamisile. Jackson thought about the 3, takes it in. Does he get blocked again? No, he gets the 2.
Fearless this against Akingbola. Akingbola, I'm surprised he didn't go up to contest that.
Minute 45 to go. GW by a point. Crowd again rising to their feet at the Siegel Center. Here's Buchanan.
Jackson trying to face guard Bishop.
10 to shoot. Bishop, he got it.
If you're going to pick him up that far out, you know he's got the ability to drive. You better get some help in the lane.
3-point lead here for the Revolutionaries. Bamisile. Bamisile back up top for Shulga. Down to a minute and 10 seconds. Shulga for the tie. No. And it's rebounded by Buchanan.
Big time rebound by Buchanan.
Feeds it. Oh, the slam by Garrett Johnson on the cut. And it's a 5-point GW lead with under a minute to go. Bairstow trying to get a quick two. Knocked out of his hands and he got fouled.
Long way to go. GW was probably one stop away from winning this game. And right there, they put 2 on the ball. Someone's open. Redshirt freshman to redshirt freshman. Johnson sending it home. Akingbola loving it. He's having a blast. But they have work to do. And I guarantee you, VCU is going to put a relentless press on GW after these free throws.
That is 2 fouls on Johnson. Bairstow. And another one to try to cut it to 3. We've got 50.4 seconds remaining. GW's got 2 timeouts left. VCU with 3. Possession arrow, by the way, favors VCU if we get a jump.
You better be ready for your press break because this is going to be aggressive.
And they're going to bring in Jacoy Hutchinson for GW. And we've got a timeout. So 50.4 seconds remaining. GW by 3. Back to Richmond after this. Welcome back inside the Siegel Center. Mike Corey alongside former Maine and LaSalle head coach Dr. John Giannini. Coach, what do you have here? 50.4 seconds to go. GW is going to inbound up by 3.
VCU will press. Obviously, try to cause a turnover. They don't have to foul yet. They can play straight up. GW, you obviously want the ball in Bishop's hands, but GW will double team to get it out of Bishop's hands. And then, you know, it's a decision for VCU. Do they play solid defense or do they foul? If Buchanan gets it, I would foul for sure.
Bishop's going to put it in.
The long pass is open the way that VCU's covering this right now, but that's a little bit risky.
Got Buchanan, Johnson, Edwards, and Hutchinson, the 5 of the court for the Revolutionaries.
I'm surprised they just don't let Buchanan get the ball. I would foul Buchanan. I would let him get it.
He's 3 of 6 from the free throw line here today. He's got it.
They should. I'm really surprised they're not fouling him.
He almost travels, and he did.
Shows how much I know. It worked out great for VCU. But, again, to my point, you really want Bishop with the ball. I mean, there's a freshman in his first college season in the Siegel Center against a vaunted press. You'd rather have Bishop with the ball, not taking it out. I get you'd love to have Bishop take it out and catch it, but I'd rather have him catch it than take it out. Now, you don't have to go, plenty of time. You don't have to force a 3, even though you're down by 3 for VCU now. You may attack the rim and get an old school and 1.
Shulga's got it. Up top, there's the 3, Bamisile. No good. Bumps to the rebound and get fouled. They call the foul. And 3 free throws coming for Bamisile. And GW and Buchanan can't believe it, and he's going to have a chance to tie it here at the free throw line.
Excellent contest. Another one of those plays. Yeah, it's a good call. But, I mean, it's grazing the fingertips again. And is that the only reason he missed the shot? Again, you could be critical of fouling in that situation, but it looked like that shot was going to be down. So now he's got to prove it at the free throw line.
How about getting the bounce there? 2 more to go.
And I could see VCU pressing again. But backing off the press at half court and playing solid defense and being a stop and a score away from a win.
41.8 seconds remaining.
And it's even because both teams will definitely get another possession, so no advantage. This is give both teams the ball once. Who gets a stop and score? Or is it OT?
Edwards in the backcourt. Gets over the midway stripe. Johnson to the hole. Johnson, he's fouled. And Garrett Johnson with 2 free throws coming up here. The foul goes against Bamisile, his second.
So there's 2 mental approaches in that situation for GW. And here's what they do. Completely aggressive, 6'8" freshman, driving a great 6'5" athlete. They decided to be aggressive, play with confidence. I thought they might come down, slow it down, and run a set for Bishop, but they go right at VCU with the chance to take the lead.
Garrett Johnson. He's now 3 for 3 at the free throw line today with 13 points.
2 best freshmen in the league, Johnson and Buchanan. Now, fascinating decision for GW. They're probably going to go for the stop to win the game. But a 3 could beat them. Some teams would foul in this situation to make sure you don't get beat on the 3 and get the ball back.
Jackson up top, gets it back. 22 seconds to go. Jackson. They're thinking about it. Barely any difference between shot clock and game clock. Jackson for 3. It's no good. Offensive rebound. Bamisile. Putback, yes. Timeout, VCU.
Well defended by Akinbola, guarding a guard, showing what an elite defender he is, but then the second chance for Bamisile, and he converts, and it's another A-10 thriller. This is a blast.
82 all with 11.5 seconds remaining. All right, now, GW, last time, or one of the previous times they threw it in, Coach, and they got a traveling violation. What are you thinking here? Who's got to have this ball, and what are you going to do with 11.7 going to go length of the floor?
So if it's me, I go with Bishop, and I run an inbounds thing to just make sure he gets it. I am riding Bishop in this situation. However, if you're going to surprise a little bit, Buchanan will probably have an easier job getting the ball because they'll have a bigger guy on him, and they're going to go small ball over here. So everyone on the team, let's say emergency situation, there's not a guy like Akinbola. You got 5 guys who can push the ball up the floor and make a play, and it could be any of them, but I'm going to take the safe bet and go with Bishop, one of the best players in school history.
GW is trying to snap a 6-game slide against VCU, tied for the longest active streak against an Atlantic 10 foe for them. They just lost a triple overtime game by 6 points at Fordham on Wednesday night. Previously, they were 6-0 in overtime games under head coach Chris Caputo, just his second season now. Are they headed for another one? We'll see. 11.7 to go. GW ball. We're tied at 82.
Win or lose, super impressive performance by George Washington. Of course, they're desperate for the win after the heartbreaker Wednesday, but extremely impressive performance against a very talented VCU team in the awesome Siegel Center. We'll see if George Washington can finish this game out. Jackson, who's an elite defender on Bishop. Now this is interesting. Bairstow, they're probably going to double team Bishop. Bairstow will pick him up, try to guard him in front. They're going to make it as hard as possible for Bishop to get this ball.
They're not putting anybody on the ball, and looks like, as you said,
they're turning around. They're going to try to have 2 people on Bishop. Hutchinson, the freshman, may have to make a play.
Buchanan to put it in. They get it into Bishop. 10 seconds to go. Tie game at 82. Bishop crosses over, trying to take it in on Jackson. Excellent D. The shot is up. It's good. He hits it with second to go. James Bishop, and GW leads by 2.
Bishop wanted to come back to GW as opposed to going anywhere in the transfer portal to leave a legacy. Well, this is what legacy looks like. Game on the line, great opponent, great venue, hostile environment, well defended by Jackson. You cannot play better defense than that.
Check the clock. 1.3, it seems like, is left on the clock after that ball goes through. They are checking the timer right now, but the basket has made it an 84-82 lead for GW. A game high 28 for Bishop. 1.5 they're saying on the clock. They up it to 1.5. So as soon as it goes through the cylinder, and that is what VCU is going to have to work with here, Coach. What a game here so far.
Here's the credit to Coach Caputo. He didn't try to drop a fancy play. He said it's not about a play, it's about a player, one of the best in school history. I'm going to trust him. And what a shot. Wow.
It is so tough to win in this building here. St. Bonaventure did it the other night with 89 points. GW is 1.5 seconds away from snapping a 6-game losing streak to the Rams and doing it again and giving the Rams another home loss. And now you got to get it deep, right? I mean, you got 1.5. What are you drawing up here?
Correct. I don't want to catch the ball and throw up a desperation 40-footer. I got to try to get the inbounds pass up around half court, maybe a Christian Leitner play to throw it all the way up the court and see if you can get a big target out there to catch the pass and then a quick kick out. You got enough time to catch it, pass it, a la Bryce Drew, a la Christian Leitner. But you don't want to throw it in the backcourt and throw up a 70-foot desperation shot.
It would be just the second win ever for GW here at the Siegel Center.
Now, interesting, Akingbola on the ball. Usually I like to take my extra defender and put him back to be a free safety against the Christian Leitner pass, but Akingbola on the ball, not a bad choice because he is a long, athletic person to get a clean pass against, but this pass is going long.
Bairstow is going to put it in for VCU, running the baseline, 1.5, throws it in, it's caught by Shulga, and it's for the win, and it's no good. Short, they had a chance and a good look, but George Washington beats VCU on the road here in the Siegel Center in Richmond, 84-82, thanks to that man, James Bishop, with a game-high 28 and a game-winning shot.
I cannot be more impressed with what GW came here and did. The long pass well executed. Shot not close, actually. They could have actually called timeout in that situation, probably had 1 second and been able to get a better look on a side out-of-bounds play. But kudos to GW. Do not sleep on VCU. They are figuring it out still. They have talent, depth. What a great start to the A-10 season. Maybe not for VCU, but for A-10 fans, it's been amazing, the competitiveness of these games.